Clock continues to run. About 10 minutes to go here in regulation. Wing T once again. Tomasetti has the ball on the option. He's going to keep it. He gets across the 30, across the 35, and looks like he will have enough for the first down as he gets the ball to the 35-yard line after a gain of 7 on the play.
That's a nice little halfback keeper, or quarterback keeper for Kennett. They did a great job. You know what Tomasetti reminds me of?
Who's that?
A little bit of Steve Young, a right-handed Steve Young. But he has that running pedigree of a quarterback.
If the name, by the way, Tomasetti sounds familiar, his father is the district superintendent here at the Kennett School District. So I'm sure he's here in the stand somewhere, proud of his son. Tomasetti gets the ball, turns around, hands it off to C.J. Lowe. C.J. across the 40, 45, 50, breaks the tackle. He can take it all the way. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Kennett for C.J. Lowe. Just like that, Kennett breaks out with a big gainer from their own 35, and C.J. Lowe takes it a total of 65 yards for the touchdown. Up it is good. So with 9:16 to go, Kennett on top, 41-0. And as a result, I think we're going to have the mercy rule.
Wow. Absolutely dominant. Back-to-back weeks of 41 points. It's just an awesome performance.
And ball is going to be fielded at the 21-yard line by number 21, Ryan Hoffman. As he goes up the sideline, he gets a nice return. And finally, Twin Valley gets some decent field position as they take the ball out to their own 45-yard line.
Yeah.
There we go. It looks like Nelson, I think, is back under center. There's a fumble on the snap, and no, actually that was Frank Cummins, a sophomore at quarterback. He fumbles it, but they pick it up, and there'll be no gain on the play for Kaufman.
David Conlon in on the tackle for Kennett.
Cummins under center, back split, 3 receivers, slot to the right. Cummins turns around, hands it off to Fillmore. He's met at the line of scrimmage. He's going nowhere. Big stop in there by Stephen Masha.
That was a good tackle by Masha. He just met Fillmore right there at the line of scrimmage and knocked him for no gain.
So I bring up 3rd down and 10. Went to school with his father, Masha's father, by the way.
In the school district, right?
In the school district, that's right. 3rd down and 10. Cummins under center again, slot receiver to the right, back split. Cummins, back to pass. Going to go to his right, down to the sidelines, got a receiver open, and it's caught, and a nice play out there for a first down to Carson Allen, who is playing receiver instead of quarterback in this play. That'll get the ball all the way to 36-yard line. 21 yards on that play and a first down, and that's really been the best play for Twin Valley in this game. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the Kennett 36. Cummins under center, slots to the left this time. Again, a little problem with this exchange to the center. They do get the handoff, but no gain or maybe a yard on the play. And that was to Donahue, I believe, was carrying on that play.
Yep, and Ed Nowinski in on the tackle.
They do pick up a yard, so it'll be 2nd and 9 from the Kennett 35. And here we go, 2nd and 9 from the 35. Cummins sends his slot receiver to the right. And he's going to roll right and then throw left, and he's got a receiver out there. Oh, and he's hit hard as it goes through the hands of Hunter Degan. And if he had caught the ball, I'm not sure he'd have been able to hang on to it.
I don't think so. Smacked. But he was smashed by Masha. What a safety hit that was. Anyway, Brian Dawkins.
Exactly right. Otherwise, incomplete pass. So that'll bring up 3rd down and 9 from the 35.
Ooh, wow.
So Masha with 2 big plays here on defense. And 3rd and 9. Cummins sends the slot to the left. 34 yards on the pass play, and it will be 1st and goal for, 1st and goal from the 2, I guess it is, that they spotted the ball.
1st and goal, Raiders from the 2-yard line.
Where's Cummins been all game? He comes in and immediately drives Twin Valley down the field instead of sophomore, and he's under center. And he's going to be keeping it himself, a little quarterback keeper right near the goal line. Did not get in, but he's at about the half-yard line after a pickup of 1.
So you know what most coaches are doing, what most new coaches are doing? I know when Matt Ortega started at Coatesville, he integrated Manny Stocker in as a starting quarterback as a sophomore. What Troy is doing is integrating Chris Grice as the quarterback. They want to go younger so they can grow as the years go on. It usually takes 3 to 5 years to build your program. I believe that's what Twin Valley needs to do with Cummins.
Frank Cummins, sophomore, 6 foot, 155 pounds. He's going to keep it again for a quarterback keeper. And yes, he is in for a touchdown. Cummins takes it in from the 1-yard line, and they avoid the shutout. And score is 41-6 with 3:47 to go. And so Cummins, a nice job there, started the ball at his own 45, so a 55-yard drive as he takes his team down for the score. Here comes the extra point attempt. And on for the extra point attempt is Austin Wells.
Number 20, Austin Wells in for the extra point attempt.
Good snap. Ball is up, and it is good.
Good.
Doug, that's their first extra point of the season. All the other attempts failed.
The only other attempt.
Yep.
The other attempts failed, so it's 41-7. And now we have a penalty, roughing the kicker against Kennett, so they'll mark that off on the ensuing kickoff. All right, so we'll take a break. You're listening to High School Football on 1520 WCHE. Cummins rolls to his left. He's going to go deep downfield down the center of the field. He's got a receiver wide open. It's number 87, and it is complete, and it's going to be first and goal. John Abaduski for the reception and the ball at the 1-yard line. Nice pass by Cummins. And we're back here at Kennett High School. That last drive by Twin Valley, 8 plays, 55 yards in 5 minutes and 14 seconds. And Cummins takes it in from the 1-yard line, and the extra point is good. And we sit here at 41-7. It's going to be covered up at the 23-yard line, and that's probably a smart idea by Kennett's William Mullen. And so Kennett will take over first and 10.
Yep, and now Kennett, this is the deepest, tied for the deepest that Kennett started on offense at the 24-yard line.
24. And the clock is running, by the way. We are under the mercy rule here. So Kennett, really could run. If they get a first down here, probably just run the ball out.
Yep.
3:23 to go in the fourth quarter. Kennett leads 41-7. They have the ball at their own 24. They have a new quarterback out there. It's number 7, Damian Bennett, a sophomore, 5'8", 150. And Bennett hands the ball off to C.J. Or no, he keeps it himself. He fakes it to C.J. Lowe, and he keeps it, and he's stacked up on the other side of the 25.
Nice little play fake there.
So Damian Bennett will get, out to the 28-yard line to pick up a 4. And bring up second down and 6.
Nice little run by the sophomore quarterback.
Boy, it's nice when the coach, Scott, can get some of his reserves in there and get them some actual real game time and experience.
Definitely. You can only go so far in JV, but when you actually play in varsity, you can see the talent just emerge.
Bennett this time does hand off to C.J. Lowe, and C.J. Gets maybe line of scrimmage or picks up a yard. And that's about it. Is before he's driven back. They'll give him credit for a yard on that.
That was a nice tackle by Austin Key from Twin Valley. He looks like he's a big boy.
Yeah, CJ comes in 160 pounds dripping wet, so it wasn't hard once you made good contact to drive him backwards. So it'll be third down and 3 for Kennett. Just over 2 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Clock continues to run. Damian Bennett. Wing T formation, receiver split. Bennett turns around, hands it off to Lowe, off the left tackle this side, and again a couple of yards in the carry, a little short of the first down.
That was a nice strong run by C.J. Lowe, and he got hit hard and still kept his legs moving. That's one good thing about a running back there, Doug, is he runs, keeps your legs moving. Even though you get hit, you could gain more yards.
Gets it up to the 34, pick up a 5. And it's 4th and inches, and with 1:23 to go here. So if they get the 4th down here, the game would essentially be over. They could, take a knee and call it a day. See if they go with just a quarterback keeper here. Bennett, now he's going to turn around and fake the hand. He's going to pitch it back to number 14. That was a bad idea because they actually lost yardage, and that was Jordan Jones on a carry. And I'm not sure why they did that, other than, well, that's why you get experience as a sophomore. But they play, so it'll turn it over on downs. The second time Kennett's turned it over on downs today. So Twin Valley will have a great yardage, but only 48 seconds to go. And the clock continues to run with the ball at the Kennett 33.
That was a nice 4th down defensive stand. I believe that's the second time today that Kennett could not convert on 4th down.
So Frank Cummins comes back on for Twin Valley with 30 seconds to go, and let's see if they just go for the end zone. I would, take a shot, go down the field and see if you can maybe get another score out of this. And, of course, they're going to run the ball as I say that, and that's Ryan Hoffman with the carry
Brian Hoffman on the carry for the Raiders.
Nice little run by him.
About 5 yards on the play. And that may be in the last play of the game, as the clock is probably going to run out here. And that will do it. 3, 2, and 1, and the game is over. And Kennett comes away with an impressive 41-7 victory over Twin Valley. So Kennett improves their record to 2-1. Twin Valley falls to 0-3. And very impressive ground game for the Blue Demons today. But Twin Valley, as you said, Jason, didn't give up. Able to score a late touchdown there in the fourth quarter. And, at least they have something they can work towards for next week.
I think Frank Cummings asserted himself as the starting quarterback. Just on that one quarter, a play that he played in, he looked poised as a sophomore. We'll see what Twin Valley does next week against Daniel Big.
All right, we'll take a break here. We'll come back and wrap things up for you. And you're listening to High School Football on 1520 WCHE. All right, folks, welcome back here to Kennett High School. Doug Sterling, Jason Harvey with you. And the final score, Kennett wins 41-7 as they defeat Twin Valley. Kennett improves their record to 2-1, Twin Valley 0-3. And a pretty impressive effort by the Blue Demons.
Yeah, they definitely took what they built on from last week's game against Westchester East and brought it to the table today, matching their totals of 41 points from last week to this week. They played dominant defense, causing turnovers. The offense with the rushing attack was just phenomenal, and I look forward to seeing them play Chichester next week.
The score was 20-0 at halftime. Kennett had the lead, of course, and then they took the first possession of the second half, and they went 75 yards in 11 plays, 6 minutes and 13 seconds, and Anthony Torello punched it in from 1 yard out to make the score 27-0. Twin Valley then went 3 and out. Kennett then took the ball from their own 48-yard line after a punt, and they went 3 plays in 2 minutes and in a minute and 15 seconds, and Jordan Lardani took the ball in from 45 yards out. That was one of the 2 big plays they had, and made the score 34-0 with the extra point. Twin Valley then ran a couple plays and eventually had to punt after 7 plays. Kennett got the ball at their own 24, and then in the other big play in the second half, as they went with C.J. Lowe, and he had a 65-yard run, total of 76 yards in that entire drive in 4 plays. Extra point again was good, 41-0. So C.J. was impressive as he came in here in the second half.
Yeah, C.J. Lowe did a great job on that 65-yard touchdown run. He made 2 men miss, and then the last guy, he just burned right by him. It was a phenomenal run by C.J., and I looked for them to use him more in the offense as the upcoming weeks.
And then Twin Valley did get on the board, as you had said before, Jason, and get a moral victory. They didn't give up. They got the ball back on their own 45-yard line. They went 8 plays in 5 minutes and 14 seconds and 55 yards. And finally, Frank Cummins, the sophomore quarterback who came in at that point in time in the game, punched it in from 1 yard out, but he had a pass play of 34 yards and also did a good job running the ball and running the offense for them, and they got on the board, and the score at that point was 41-7, and that was the final.
Yeah, I don't want to knock anybody on the offensive side of the ball for Kennett. For Twin Valley. They played hard. They just couldn't find a way to get past Kennett's defense. And when they inserted Frank Cummings in as a quarterback, he just threw the ball. I think he has a better arm than the other 2 quarterbacks we saw here today.
Yeah, I would think so. Let's see. Let's take a look at some final stats here for the visiting Twin Valley Raiders. In the air, they were just 2 for 7, a total of 55 yards passing today. Receiving, Allen had 1 reception for 21 yards, and Abadusky had 1 for 34 yards. That was their big play of the game. total of 55 yards receiving. That means 120 yards of total offense for Twin Valley on the game. And that was 31 yards, by the way, in the second half. For Kennett, Tomasetti was 4 for 7 and a total of 58 yards through the air. Didn't really need that much,
no.
But in any case, receiving, Clark had 1 reception for 8 yards. Lardani had the 1 big touchdown reception, 1 catch for 45 yards, and he was also the big man on the ground. 20 carries, 125 yards for Lardani, so that was 170 yards of offense by Jordan Lardani altogether. So he was, I think we'd safely say he's our player of the game.
Yes, I'm going to pick with Jordan Lardani as our player of the game. He did a phenomenal job running up the middle, going through the big gaps that the offensive line put in for him.